Hola a todo el mundo y bienvenido a mi canal. Yo me llamo Sire. Soy una abogada afro-latina, licenciada y practicando la ley criminal, pero como todos ustedes, a mí me fascina cuando estamos hablando de casos de crímenes reales. En este video vamos a hablar del caso de Jacqueline Ades. Si quieres más video en español, nada más dime allá. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Desiree. I'm a licensed and practicing Afro-Latino criminal attorney who, much like the rest of you, has a severe fascination with true crime cases. Listen, you guys, let me apologize. I'm just going to start off this video with an apology. Apology Tour 2025, because I didn't get you guys a video on Friday. I apologize. I don't want to go into too much in depth about me and what's been going on, but I've just been busy, like really busy. That's not an excuse. I'm here for you. I'm here for you, and I'm here to bring you these cases. So I am so sorry. But next, let's talk about the case we're going to talk about today. This is a case of quite literal desperation. This is just thirst, dehydration, literally everything you can, parched. She was parched. She was everything you can imagine. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right because I heard it in an interview. But this is the case of Jacqueline Ades. Or Ades. No, Ades. Before we get into the video itself, I'm going to let you guys know that this is also going to be a short video. But this case was just far too fascinating not to share. Jacqueline Ades is a Floridian woman who moved to Arizona in hopes of finding love. In April and May of 2018, Jacqueline Ades was 31 years old, and she was ultimately arrested after sending a person that she had merely gone on one date with an exorbitant number of text messages. Let Jacqueline tell it. The pair met on an online dating site, and they had gone on 3 full dates. Per law enforcement, after that very first date, Jacqueline sent the victim in this case more than 65,000 text messages. In total, law enforcement estimate that Jacqueline sent the victim a total of 159,000 text messages over the course of 10 months. Law enforcement also claimed that Jacqueline showed up to the victim's home when he wasn't there and went to his job claiming to be his wife. I found the probable cause statement for this case, and I think it's really important that we go through it together. On April 8th of 2018, defendant was arrested for criminal trespass first degree after she unlawfully entered the victim's residence when he was not home. During this time, officers located a large butcher knife on the passenger seat of the defendant's car. Defendant was on felony release in that case and failed to appear for subsequent court dates. On April 24th of 2018, a bench warrant was issued in that case, CR 2018-117644. On April 30th of 2018, victim contacted Detective Marshall on the phone. Victim advised that he had been receiving numerous threatening messages from her via text messages. Victim stated that he originally met defendant through an online dating website and went on one date with her. Victim stated that after that date, defendant began stalking and harassing him. Victim stated that he has received approximately 65,000 messages from the defendant and that she will send 500 a day. Victim stated that many of the defendant's messages are threatening, including multiple death threats, and that he would like to press charges. Victim sent Detective Marshall screenshots of text messages he received between April 16th, 2018 and April 28th of 2018. Detective Marshall observed numerous threatening messages, including, and I'm quoting, "You do whatever you have to do to get there, but don't ever try to leave me. I'll kill you. I don't want to be a murderer." The next one says, "I hope you die. I'm not going to read that phrase, but you can see it on the screen. LOL, I'm like the new Hitler. Man was a genius. I'd wear your fascia in the top of your skull and your hands and feet. And oh, what would I do with your blood? I'd want to bathe in it. On May 7th of 2018, victim contacted Detective Marshall and stated that the defendant had shown up at his work on Friday, May 4th, 2018, looking for him and stating that she was his wife. Scottsdale police responded and trespassed defendant from the property. Victim stated that he is out of the country currently, but that he is legitimately concerned for his safety when he returns. On May 8th of 2018, Detective Marshall and Detective Hadley arrested defendant at her residence. At the Paradise Valley Police Station, Detective Marshall Mirandized defendant and questioned her about her text messages. Defendant stated that she sends victim text messages all day, but he never responds. Defendant stated that she sent the threatening text messages to victim because she was scared that he called the police on her. Defendant stated that she did not want to hurt victim because she loved him and that she threatened him because she did not want him to leave. Defendant stated that she knew her statements were crazy and that she would return to Florida when she was released. As you saw in the probable cause statement, Jacqueline was ultimately arrested, and that was pending 3 charges: stalking, threatening, and harassment. I think it's important that we go through each. Arizona Revised Statute 13-2923 states, A person commits stalking if the person intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct that is directed towards another person, and if that conduct causes the victim to 1. Suffer emotional distress or reasonably fear that either A. The victim's property will be damaged or destroyed. B. Any of the following will physically be injured. 1. The victim. 2. The victim's family member, domestic animal, or livestock. 3. A person with whom the victim has or has previously had a romantic or sexual relationship. Or 4. A person who regularly resides in the victim's household or has resided in the victim's household within the 6 months before the last conduct occurred. Arizona Revised Statute 13-1202 states that a person commits threatening or intimidating if the person threatens or intimidates by word or conduct. 1. To cause physical injury to another person or serious damage to the property of another. Or 2. To cause serious public inconvenience, including but not limited to evacuation of a building, place of assembly, or transportation facility. Or 3. To cause physical injury to another person or damage to the property of another in order to promote, further, or assist in a criminal street gang, a criminal syndicate, or a racketeering enterprise. The classifications of those statutes are as follows. Stalking is considered a Class 5 felony. Threatening and intimidating is considered a Class 6 felony. And harassment is considered a Class 1 misdemeanor. I'm not sure if we've ever previously gone through the different classifications of crimes, but in essence, an F6 is literally the lowest felony. It starts at an F1, think murder. F2, attempted murder. F3, assault with a deadly weapon causing serious bodily injury. It goes down and down and down from there, and the lowest classification of felony is an F6. The reason I bring this to your attention is to state these aren't the most severe of charges here. She was ultimately charged with what was applicable under statute, but it's not like she was charged with an F2, an F3, or an F4. She was charged with an F5, an F6, and an M1. Not to say that that's not serious, but I'm just explaining it so you can understand. I also want to let you guys know that while she was awaiting disposition of this case, and while still in custody, Jacqueline actually spoke out.
Okay. You want to ask me questions?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Why don't you start from the beginning? How did you wind up here?
I wound up here on a road trip from Florida, looking for, I guess, love. And I was following the number 33. I used to wake up every day and every night at 3:33. It was always 3:33, 3333. So I kept following the number, and I said, why am I following the number 33? And I spoke to a psychic, and she told me I have the same birth chart as Jesus. So then I said, okay. I look up Jesus. He was 33 when he came to be. So I was like, that's a 33. My left eye axis is 33. The location I came from in Miami was 33111, the zip code. This zip code here, now the coordinates on the map, is 33111.
Jacqueline, how did you come to meet the man who is related to your case?
Oh, Isaac Ben Shabbat. I met him online. I was looking for my healing angel. The psychic I met told me I would meet a healing angel. So I was in Utah, Mount Zion, looking for my healing angel. And I was at a bar, and I was talking to the bartender about the number 3, and I said, so the number 3, I told him the story, how I got here, just because I got here, the number 3. And then he said, not to say anything, but look behind me. And I looked behind him, and there's the giant number 3. So I was like, are you my healing angel? And he was like, no, I'm not. And then I said, okay, well, maybe you're going to lead me to my healing angel. So he said, you should probably go to Sedona. It's in Arizona. I said, I never heard of it. And I look up Sedona, Arizona. He said, 33rd most spiritual place. So I canceled my trip. I canceled my trip in Mount Zion, and I decided to go to Arizona. I'd never been here. And Isaac texted me, and he says, have you ever been to Arizona? And I was like, this is really weird. I just decided to come here. And I said, I'm not going to meet him unless God throws it in my face. So we start talking, and I was like, I'm not going to go there. Then he told me he has my same birthday. So I was like, okay, I have to go meet him because I told God that's what I would do. So I go meet him, and we have the same birthday. Our brothers are both named Jacob and David. Our fathers are both Egyptian Jews from Cairo. We're both vegetarians. Then I find out he does stuff for the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea has 33% salt in it. Walt Disney's club is called Club 33. The reason they are called this is because the location of Atlantis is inside the earth. The coordinates are 3333. It's the soul of the earth.
Jackie, can I get you to respond to some of the charges against you?
Oh,
Did you break into his home?
I'd rather not talk about those things.
What about the text messages?
I'd rather not talk about those things.
You said you met him online.
Yeah.
What site did you meet him on?
Luxy.
What kind of site is that?
Oh, like the most shallow one ever, where the rich men meet the pretty girls.
And what, I know you don't want to talk about the text, but in some of them, you said some pretty crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to just respond to that part of it?
Not right now.
Why did you text him 65,000 times?
Because it made me find out all my information. Loving him selflessly brought this information because everybody just wants to take. But if you just give and you don't stop giving, even if you don't receive, you all of a sudden receive a lot.
Did he tell you to stop contacting him?
I don't want to talk about that.
Did you listen to that?
I don't want to talk about that.
You said, did you go on one date with him?
3.
3 dates. Can you talk about how you felt when you were with him? Did you feel a spark immediately? Talk about how you felt.
I felt like I met my soulmate and everything was just the way it was. And I thought we would just do what everybody else did and we would just like get married and everything would be fine. But that's not what happened.
65,000 text messages. That's like
That's
valuable stuff.
To me, it seemed like more.
Seemed like more than
To
65,000?
me, yeah. That's like
Isn't that kind of excessive?
love is an excessive thing.
Can you understand why people think this is a little bit out there?
Oh, yeah.
Are you a crazy person?
No.
Tell us, who are you? Like, what do you want?
I'm the person that discovered love, the equation to light. Einstein discovered the equation to light. It's E equals mc squared. To finish that equation, everything we see is made out of light. Everything, and the composition of the light that it's made out of.
Jackie, some of those messages don't sound like love, they sound like threats.
When you're finding love, not everything is perfect. This was a journey. And I want to apologize because nobody would ever be more sorry.
Would you have really hurt him?
No. No. I love him. So the rest of the equation is L equals 3.3. L equals 3.3 times E equals mc squared. And that's the equation of eternal love.
Did he love you?
It means one boy thing plus one girl thing. The boy is the light. The light makes the love work really hard. The love, we're as women supposed to worship the men, and they're supposed to lead us in where we're supposed to go. But instead, we all believe in the number 0. The number 0 is a belief system that the Illuminati created to create the undertaking of all humankind.
So how did this case resolve? I mean, I guess after I explain it to you guys, some of you might think it didn't. But ultimately, the charges against Jacqueline were dismissed after she was found incompetent to proceed and not restorable. Let me explain that to you. Typically, any party to a proceeding can raise competency. The court, as in the judge, the prosecution, or the defense, anyone can raise competency should there be a concern. When competency is raised, the court will select an evaluator, and the evaluator will do an evaluation as to the defendant. In a lot of cases, the defense attorney can submit who they wish to do the evaluation to the court, and the court will do it through that person. But other times, the court will just randomly choose who the evaluator is going to be. Once that evaluation is complete, there are 3 different findings that can be made. 1, that the defendant is competent to proceed. 2, that the defendant is incompetent but restorable. Or 3, that the defendant is incompetent and not restorable. From the prosecution's perspective, there's really not a lot that they can do with an incompetent and not restorable finding. In essence, the prosecution can challenge that finding and then request for a second evaluation to be completed. In some jurisdictions, the prosecution can select the second evaluator, or it can be up to the court's determination once more. Once that second evaluation comes in, and let's assume the second evaluation says incompetent but restorable, the prosecution and the defense at that point can go to a hearing and then let the court decide. So in essence, it would be a battle of 2 competing experts. The court would listen to testimony from the prosecution expert saying that the defendant is incompetent but restorable. And they would also listen to testimony from the defense expert saying that the defendant is incompetent and not restorable. If the prosecution chooses not to challenge the finding, the charges have to be dismissed. That's just what it is. An incompetent but not restorable finding in most jurisdictions that I have practiced in are essentially a death sentence to the prosecution's case. So I'm explaining to you why the charges here were dismissed. As far as Jacqueline's concerned and where she's at today, I don't know. But remember, she said she wanted to return to Florida once she was released. When this case happened, it literally made national news because I don't even know if I've sent 65,000 or 159,000 text messages to anyone over the course of my life. That is an exorbitant number of messages to be sending. And especially after one date. I mean, in general, but one date? This case was just sad. It was sad. I want us to treat all victims equally, because male or female, a victim's a victim. If a woman is doing it, it doesn't make it any less weird, creepy, or terrifying. than if a man is doing it. Imagine being on the receiving end of those text messages. It's just insane. Like I said when the video started, I was going to make this a short video, just kind of tell you guys the story and let you guys give me your opinions on it. Now that we've discussed the case of Jacqueline, let me know what you think. Do you think after seeing the interview that she was actually incompetent and not restorable? Do you think that the prosecution should have charged her to begin with? What do you think of her sending this man all of these text messages? Let me know all of your thoughts down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, y'all take care.